Another nice, easy T-3485 match here, this one on Malinovka. As usual, I'm going to try and take the hill, because that's just how you win the map, quite simply. Turned up with Hardest in his Cheeto and Ethan in his Hellcat. This game was from when the Tier 6 event to get the IS-6 was still on, and probably imagine that would be about 2 weeks ago now that this was recorded, something like that. So this would have been around probably like the, I don't know, actually probably about the 10th of January, something like that. I'm just now getting around to recording it. I backlogged myself once again, I can't help it. I think at some point in the near future I'm going to have a moratorium on replays for a while, just to catch up. And then I'll try and slow down a bit on them. I might just keep it to, you know, 1 per tank or something like that. Anyway, you can see I'm doing a very stupid thing here. I stop to take blind shots and immediately take an arty shot in the engine. It almost one-shots me. That was a huge mistake. It could have cost us, well, not cost us the game, because as it happens our team actually shot tanks, but it would have definitely cost me the game. So I immediately get away from where I just got artied and begin trying to work from a hold down position on these tanks on the map. I'm one-shottable for every single one of them, and arty is still out to get me, as you can hear. So I have to play really carefully while doing this. So you can see me sort of whizzing my mouse about trying to see what's going on around me, so I don't get popped by a tank without realising. The Cheeto bounced off my turret. The T-3485's turret isn't bad at Tier 6. Higher tiers, like Tier 7s and 8, will punch through it without much trouble, but Tier 6 tanks typically won't, except the very high pen ones like the KV-1S and some of the tank destroyers. So, as always, I see a TOG and I want to kill it, because look at all that delicious damage I can do to all those hit points. But I've got bigger problems to worry about so far. So try and get some damage onto this KV-1S and dissuade the Cheeto and the Type 58 from pushing on me. Unfortunately, their Jagdpanther decides he's going to push. So with this KV-1 just constantly bumping into me, generally being an obstruction and not much else, I begin engaging the Jagdpanther, trying to keep it at least firing at somebody else or prevent it from rushing me. Thankfully he is both a terrible shot and terrible at prioritizing targets, and so he decides he wants to engage the KV-1, and Ethan manages to save my life. So the TOG comes up after the rest of his team have been destroyed on the hilltop. The ELC is run off somewhere. So you can see I didn't want to expose too much of my tank to the TOG, so I back off into a hull down and begin shooting through its, well, not its gun mantlet, it doesn't have one, its gun penetration hole through the turret. So now the KV-1S is being dealt with, and once that's cleared out we should be able to move down the hill freely. And there he goes. So with 89 hit points I've managed to survive quite a while already and put out quite a lot of damage considering this is a Tier 6 match. Turns out the ELC didn't actually bugger off, he was just sniping from the back of the hill because he thought he was a tank destroyer. So with him down, they're now blind. I moved to the edge of the hill to get better shots at things and managed to spot the arty. Well, that may have actually been Hardest or the 100Y. I don't know, it doesn't matter. He dies. So the team starts heading down the hill. I decide I don't really want to go straight down because of my hit points or lack thereof, so I cut down this way instead, which gives me a little more cover and keeps me away from the main pack where the enemy will be focusing their fire. Also prevents any of my teammates from ramming me and knocking further hit points off. So other enemy arty is spotted. Unfortunately Hardest dies to the final arty piece. Occupational hazard of driving a Japanese tank. Enemy down to 4 tanks. We've only lost 3. So, not bad. Hull spotted, trying to run away. My first shot misses over his gun barrel. Thankfully he gets tracked. My second shot catches him before he's able to run away. 100Y is my next target. Take that out before I can get one of those massive shells into somebody. And then I'm trying to help out RELC get this M7. Of course, being an M7, it's very small, very fast, and exceedingly difficult to hit at this kind of distance with anything, let alone the kinds of fairly low velocity shells you get in these lower tier tanks. So, all up, not a bad game. Some 1765 damage. I can't remember if there were any blind shots or not. That actually connected. Quite a scary moment at the start of the game there where I nearly got blown up by Artie, but it does happen usually when I'm playing carelessly like I was there. I learned from my mistake and I didn't let it happen again, thankfully, and I was able to go on and do a lot of damage. Again, this is also a good demonstration of why you have to shoot tanks. Even if they're 1 hit point, if they still have a functioning gun, they could spend the rest of the game murdering your whole team and you wouldn't be able to do anything about it.